And welcome, Nerdosphere. James from the Best Damn Nerd Show here, and I am bringing you a special excerpt from this week's edition of the podcast, so be sure to enjoy. And if you do, like and subscribe, and join us on Discord, bestdamnnerdshow.com/Discord. If you wish to opine, we'll be glad you did. I want to start out with the Restore the SnyderVerse movement that is coming in the wake of the just overwhelming sort of positive reaction to, Zack Snyder's Justice League, the Snyder Cut, and all that good stuff. We talked about it at length, what we thought about it. John, it even made John want to watch it, how well Davis and I thought about it. And I think the reaction has been very positive across the board. So, I talked about it on YouTube already that Ann Sarnoff did this Variety interview piece that was sort of to prop up what WB is going to be doing in the DCEU while slamming the door in Zack Snyder's face with his universe and acting like that, they did him this gigantic favor and whatever. They're under no obligation to continue on with Zack Snyder's universe and everything like that. But I want to circle back to the timing of this interview in Variety is highly suspect. It's not even highly suspect. It's incredibly stupid of them to do this interview in that way, because the buzz, the hype around this is just getting started. And it's like everybody's feeling really good about themselves. Like, oh, Justice League's cool. DC's cool. All of this great stuff. Mark is streaking throughout the neighborhoods in Southern California with how much people are loving Justice League and all these DC characters. And then Ann Sarnoff goes to Variety and says, yeah, but, fuck all that. We're not going to do anything with it. And even if they had no plans to do it, why do it so soon after? Well, everybody's loving you. People are loving HBO Max. It was a good time, and they ruined the good time. Well, I just wanted to get Davis and John, your sort of thoughts on how that all went down first before we get into the nerdgasm or no-gasm. John, we'll start with you.
I think it's crazy because clearly Snyder has done the best and most cohesive work in this arena in the last few years on the DC side of things, that is. But after watching your video on it and after thinking about it a little bit more, I will actually wonder if behind the scenes it's actually Snyder saying, I don't want to work with you guys anymore, but this is their way of
saving face.
Mm-hmm. And also doing kind of like an FU to Snyder and his team. They're the ones making the decision, I don't know. Because some of it's just
you can't quit because you're fired.
Exactly, because some of the statements that she made, bringing up the length of the movie and talking about how they want to diversify and they want to be doing all different kinds of things across different media and all this stuff. It's but you guys already do that, and you kind of water down all your characters. The SnyderVerse is your opportunity to really consolidate everything and have it in a cohesive story. It doesn't mean that you can't ever touch these characters again, but at least let this thing play out and have a tome, have a chronicles that people can watch in movie form that all make sense and lasts long enough to feel, satisfying. It does seem like it would be an abrupt end. And again, I wonder what's going on behind the scenes that would cause them to do this, because it
bad leadership.
But there has to be a reason. It can't just be because we don't want to.
I mean, I don't think it's just because they don't want to. I do think that they have plans in place, or what they think are good plans, moving forward in the DCEU and stuff like that. I don't think it's literally just F them kids. It is as much as, I love saying that.
She needs to wait to make this statement until she says what their plans are.
Well, that's the timing of it is what sort of boggles my mind. The FU is the timing of it. The FU is the fact that, we can't even properly celebrate this thing and have fun with it. the ink on the reviews, the run times of the reviews have barely ended, and it's just like, yeah, well, let's move on now, you guys. Let's keep it moving. Nothing to see.
Yeah,
Davis.
we barely got through the post credit scene.
Yeah,
and already this shit came out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, don't shut the door too quickly. I mean, this is still happening. The reaction is still happening.
Yeah.
Do you like money, Anne? Do you? Do you want to make lots of it?
Yeah.
Because this is how you do it. You add this into whatever your current plans are. That you can keep your current plans, and you can do this. You are in a comic book universe. You have all the stories, all the outlets to do different universes. You have Flashpoint. You're gonna do it. So guess what? You have an outlet already. Just do it. Allow it.
Yeah, DC really well known for their Elseworlds projects in general, and comic book form and everything like that. And also, she was under no obligation to give such a definitive no. Like, there's it's really just not a smart strategy in general. She could even said there's no plans for it right now, but looking at this response, who knows? Never say never in this business. She wouldn't even do that.
And why is she giving that scoop to Variety? Like, what a weird platform to even have this conversation on.
So
like,
cool, DC.
And honestly, that's something that I've noticed a lot from Warner Brothers, like having spent some time working for a subsidiary of theirs. Like, they are so focused on the trades. Like, we would have like consumer brands that we would promote in the trades, which is insane because it's like, dude, no one that's reading Variety cares about what we're doing, and vice versa. Like, if you want a message to hit home with DC fans, then you need to be in front of DC fans, not this weird like industry magazine. You know, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just strange.
It continues to be strange, and oh great, so we're not getting more of this, this dark side, first time ever in live action that we've seen. But hey, you guys can have Zatanna. Great.
Yeah.
No besmirchment her. She's a fine character. But the idea that we would be more excited about getting that than a continuation of the Snyderverse is laughable. It's just ridiculous. And the idea that like developing a non-Clark Kent Superman, nobody wants that, and nobody.
I think honestly part of this is when you have an organization that large and that structural, like they've been around for so long, you have like regimes of people that run the company for a period of time, and like when a new regime starts to take over, they over time try to divorce themselves from the projects that past regimes were working on, and they try to leave their own stamp and their own fingerprint on stuff. And that's what this reeks of, like, I don't know how much carryover she had from previous people that were in positions to make decisions like that, or maybe these decisions are being made under her even. But ultimately, moving away from Snyderverse when it's like the best thing you guys got going right now seems like a huge mistake. And maybe just give it a chance, like just give it a couple more at bats before you just move away from it completely.
Don't even
and start casting more Twilight characters as your superheroes. You know what I mean? No disrespect to our
get some more retweets and hashtags going before you even say it. Again, even if that's your plan, just wait a little bit. Ride this wave.
I'm with
Davis. Have some fun with this. Like,
how do you feel
be
about
a hero.
Money, do you like money?
Be a hero. Glad hand a little bit more. Be like, yeah, this is what you like, that Snyder cut. That was my idea. I did that.
That's what she should have done.
Yeah.
It's like she couldn't even take a victory lap. She immediately was like, yeah, no, we get that people like that. But that's the thing. She might not get that people like it. That's the crazy part about this. They might be so removed from their consumer that like she doesn't even realize how happy this made people, like how good it is for
not even DCEU. The Disney bots to downvote and give bad reviews about this movie could nothing could spoil this mood. Can you hear me smiling?
Have these movies be the streaming movies. Like, we're in this era right now where theaters might be coming back. They might not. So plan.
Well, Davis, I know you did your part going to see
theaters were back for you in May of last year.
They never left. They never left.
the literal height of the pandemic, and Davis is like, yeah, seems like a good idea to go back to the movie theater.
It was a Demon Bear New Mutants movie. I didn't have a choice. It had to happen. So have this be the streaming movies. And do this on the side. Have your theatrical releases, and have these different projects go out.
I think they're too expensive to just be streaming movies, though.
I mean, yeah, I am very, very curious to see how they're going to, kind of put this into monetization for the media to actually like take in how much is actually brought in to WB. I don't know how you do it. I know
very little.
So I think it's safe to say that we're no-gasm on Ann Sarnoff's interview with Variety.
Yeah.
I think just Ann's in general.
I didn't call the question. So
do you have a story about the HBO subscriber numbers? Because
I have a story about Restore the SnyderVerse, and that's where I want to go with this. And also, Tyrone Magnus on YouTube brought this to my attention, and he showed this tweet that hashtag Restore the SnyderVerse with 1.4 million tweets in less than 24 hours marks the biggest trending count of all time in Hollywood history, beating of the Avengers Endgame record. So this going back to the idea of Ann Sarnoff and Warner Brothers ending the party at 11 in history, the complex that they have with wanting to compete with the MCU, you just beat the MCU with this Restore the SnyderVerse movement.
I threw a New Year's party so good one year that we had to call the cops on ourselves. That's what Ann did.
Yes,
I needed to end things immediately because they were getting out of control. There was fights. There was a riot in the street. I had to call the cops on myself. That's what Ann just did. She just called the cops on.
Davis, I can't take you seriously because you're holding a candy that looks like a baby bottle right now.
It is. It's a baby bottle. It's a bottle pop. I put it in the Donald Trump pinata we smashed.
You guys are gonna hate on me for liking Rolos, but he's got that. All right, so nerdgasm or no-gasm on Restoring the SnyderVerse, Davis?
It's a nerdgasm, boys. It's a nerdgasm. I love the SnyderVerse. Let's get it going. Make that money, Ann. Come on, make it. What are you doing? Just get it going. We want to see Darkseid, and keep these movies at 4 or 5 hour runtimes. I don't care. Keep them going.
10 hours on the next one.
Yeah, I mean they're just like TV series really now. You're just gonna binge it anyways. So just make them long. Let him do what he wants.
I mean, I did see something about the Snyder Cut being like 10% in slow mo. I think we could maybe trim that number down a little bit.
We were wondering what the actual number was. 10%. That's more than
yeah. That is a lot of slow mo. John, nerdgasm or no-gasm? Hashtag Restore the SnyderVerse.
I'm going nerdgasm on it. I don't know that it is going to happen, and honestly, part of this is like I don't know if you guys have been following like the subscriber numbers that HBO is claiming, but I think that they said they have something like 50. I'm gonna get the numbers wrong, but I know it's in the ballpark of like 50 or 60 million total subscribers for HBO, but HBO Max, but they're including people who get it in their TV bundles. In terms of direct subscriptions to HBO Max, it's closer to like 4 or 5 million, which is horrendous compared to Netflix and Disney. So part of why this might be happening, honestly, might be because they're just like, yeah, the economics aren't there. We can't afford to continue making these movies. So her job is like, I got to go out and spin this in like, yeah, it's a triumph. It's amazing that we did this, but we're going to be pivoting and we're going to do all these other great things. But in reality, what she's saying is, yeah, our app is a huge failure and we need to go low budget. All we can do is low budget stuff from now on. Period. we cannot do movies that we shoot that could be 4 hour cuts, but only make 2.5 hour theatrical releases, and we spend hundreds of millions on visual effects that don't even make it into the cut. We can't.
We want to focus. We want to focus on more street level characters.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more grounded in reality.
Characters that don't have like powers or
we want to focus on broke superheroes. So we've actually acquired the rights to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So that's what we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for watching this far, Nerdosphere. Really appreciate it. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comments. And once again, join us on Discord, bestdamnnerdshow.com/Discord. Or if you're feeling generous and you want to help me get that SBA loan, go ahead and go to bestdamnnerdshow.com/Patreon.